Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 150th commencement ceremony of Oak Park and River Forest High School. I am Principal Parker, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the class of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2026. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be performed by senior Micah Merrill.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the home of the brave.
Everyone can now be seated. The 2026 commencement will proceed without interruption as printed in your program. At this time, graduating Student Council President Rhiannon Singer will deliver the welcome address.
Friends, family, esteemed teachers, and staff, we are gathered here today to celebrate the class of 2026. First, I want to thank my mom, dad, and brother for always being my #1 supporters. I wouldn't be up here without you. Thank you to all of my friends for your constant love and support, especially my 6 girlfriends. I love you all more than you know. Class of 2026, we have accomplished so much. Words cannot describe how grateful I am to have this final opportunity to stand up here and congratulate all of you today. Even if our paths have never crossed until now, I want you to know that each and every single one of you is so deserving of this recognition, and I cannot wait to see where the class of 26 ends up. One of my mom and I's favorite bands is Fleetwood Mac. It's actually so special to us that when she was 18, she decided she would name her first daughter after the song Rhiannon. So it felt only right to stand up here today and talk about another one of our favorites, one many of you know, and one that feels fitting for today, Landslide. The song opens, I took my love and I took it down, I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. I think that's where a lot of us started. When we ended 8th grade, we each had a vision of what our high school years would look like. Maybe you were ready to try it for a team. Maybe you were excited for the winter musical. Maybe you were looking forward to the football games. Well, that was before you knew about our winning streak. But for a lot of us, freshman year became our first mountain to climb. The first time those carefully built plans didn't unfold exactly the way we expected. I know for me, I was super excited to be cheering on the sidelines of football games freshman year, but when that didn't happen, it was the first time when I realized that the gap between what you picture in your mind and what you get isn't necessarily a door closing, but a new one opening instead. That year helped a lot of us grow in more ways than one, and definitely prepared us for the years that followed. Then we got to sophomore year. By that point, the hallways felt a little less intimidating, and suddenly high school wasn't something we were adjusting to. It was simply our reality. And then came junior year. If freshman year was learning how to climb the mountain, junior year felt like realizing just how steep it actually was. AP classes, jobs, sports, performances, leadership positions, college conversations, and somehow trying to balance all of it while still figuring out who we were becoming. Junior year asked more of us than we thought we had to give, and yet somehow we gave it. Not perfectly, not without stress, and definitely not without a few late nights along the way, but we made it through. By senior year, something had shifted. Maybe we still didn't have everything figured out, but we carried ourselves differently. Because after years of climbing, falling, adjusting, and rebuilding, we had started to understand that the moments that shake us are often the ones that shape us. That's what I've come to understand about landslides. We tend to think of them as disasters, something that undoes all of the progress you've made. But a landslide doesn't just destroy, it reshapes. It clears out what wasn't built to last and makes room for something stronger to take root. We all had our own landslides during these 4 years, moments when you looked around and wondered if you were the only one struggling, even while everyone else seemed perfectly fine. But one of the most overlooked truths about high school is how easy it is to underestimate what someone else is carrying while they're standing right beside you. Some people made these years look effortless, others were putting everything they had into simply making it through the week. Yet somehow, through all the setbacks and uncertainties, we kept moving forward. And maybe that's why the final lines of Landslide resonate so deeply now. Well, I've been afraid of changing because I've built my life around you, but time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting older too. At its core, this song is about a simple but terrifying truth. Change is inevitable. We have spent 4 years building our lives in and around this community, these people, these hallways. But what I don't think any of us fully processed is how much this place actually changed us. It changed us in loud, obvious ways, Friday night lights, school dances, and definitely those perfectly undercooked cafeteria cookies, but it also changed us in quieter ways. The unexpected friendship that came from a seating chart switch, the inside jokes with teammates, and the late nights when you lost track of time and didn't think to care. And here's something that I keep coming back to. Even without knowing every story in this room, we were all still part of the same place. We understood the same expectations. We navigated the same numbering system, which, for the record, took me 3 years to figure out. We arrived at the same milestone by different roads carrying different things. What makes today matter isn't that we all had the same experience. It's that different paths, different challenges, and different stories still led us to the same ending, the same title. Graduates of Oak Park and River Forest High School, class of 2026. As we move into this next chapter, carry that with you. Success isn't just about where you end up, it's about who you become along the way and the people that helped you get there. So take it all in one last time, be grateful for those you've met and the ones you've learned from, cherish the friendships created in these halls that made this place feel like home, and always remember, it's a great day to be a Husky. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Should I hold it as I go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Please join me in welcoming incoming Student Council President Marley Paxton.
Thank you. Whew. The axe that I hold is more than a mere instrument for cutting wood. To generations of dear old Parkers, it has a special meaning. It is a sacred axe that symbolizes all that is good at Oak Park and River Forest High School. First presented by the class of 1905, the axe has been transferred each year to the incoming senior class by the outgoing class as a visible symbol of the responsibility to uphold the traditions of those things that are best. Each year, the outgoing class adds a ribbon to the axe as a symbol of their year. The ribbons on this axe date back over 118 years. It is with pride and respect that I now pass it on to you, Marley Paxton, as next year's President of Student Council. I know that next year's class of 2027 will take great pride in carrying on the traditions that are a part of us all. Congrats.
At this time, we want to take a moment to honor our seniors who are enlisting in the armed forces or entering into military academies. Students, as you hear your name, please stand at your seats so that we may recognize you. Ryan Dabney. Ryan joined the Illinois National Guard and has been training 1 weekend a month since March. He will attend Louisiana State University, where he will study electrical engineering. Owen Chung. Owen will be attending the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. There he will major in nuclear engineering and participate on the Navy's boxing team. He aims to pursue an internship at NASA during his junior year, and upon graduation, he plans to commission as a Navy pilot and fly jets. Kevin Lizarazo. Kevin will be joining the United States Army Reserve after high school. He will attend basic training in South Carolina and then travel to Virginia to complete his job training as a cargo specialist. There he will learn how to manage and transport military supplies and equipment. Upon completing his training, he plans to serve in the Army Reserve while continuing to pursue his future educational and career goals. Richard Yip. Richard was inspired by his father and other family members who served in the Marines. Richard ships out in August to San Diego, and he can't wait to serve and protect his country. Congratulations to all of our graduates, and best of luck to your future in the armed forces and military academies. At this time, please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Greg Johnson.
Thank you. What a beautiful day we have for this ceremony today. Class of 2026, congratulations. For each of you, this special day marks the end of a journey that began 13 years ago when you first walked into kindergarten. And parents, please forgive me if that sentiment brings to mind a bittersweet image of your now graduate on that very first day of school. For us, the administrators, faculty, staff, board members, it's a pretty special day as well. Not only because ceremonies like this always are, but because today, students, you become part of the 150th graduating class of OPRF. That's right. 150 times now, graduates have gathered, often on this very field, to mark this clear line between childhood and adulthood. And so in recognition of that history, I spent part of spring break looking through archives, hoping to find remarks from the very first commencement ceremony in 1877. I don't think any such records exist, unfortunately. So I broadened my search, and I found a message delivered by Principal M.R. McDaniel to the class of 1926. Here's a condensed part of that address. Education is a social matter. From the earliest of times, it has been necessary for people to learn to get along together. That is one of the chief purposes of education. Just like the average American, students are also ready to take sides on any question, even if they don't fully understand it. We therefore must learn to be tolerant of the ones who take the other side. In the face of opposition, we must learn to differ with a smile. Now, to our modern sensibilities, this chief purpose of education may sound a bit quaint. The idea that we should differ with a smile can feel out of step with today's media landscape. To some of you, it may even sound naive, and perhaps it is. After all, today, with nothing more than a phone and an app, We are bombarded with versions of a world carefully curated to affirm what we already believe, while simultaneously creating distance between us and those who think differently. We see it everywhere, in the media, in politics, in our communities, our daily lives. And in response, many of us gravitate towards what is safe, surrounding ourselves with people and perspectives who affirm our identities, our beliefs, and our experiences. And to be clear, finding your people matters. It provides belonging, safety, affirmation. Part of what we have tried to build here at OPRF, however imperfectly, is a place where your identities and ideas are valued, where you feel seen and are safe. But finding your people is only the first step. The next is often more difficult. Seeking perspectives and experiences that challenge us in the process, and in the process remaining open to disagreements that stay within the bounds of civil discourse. And over the past 4 years, I have admired the extent to which this class has tried to find balance here, seeking strength and community while pushing yourselves towards curiosity, discomfort, and understanding. Showing that to safely learn at OPRF doesn't mean that you are free from feeling uncomfortable. In fact, that balance, I contend, is the deeper purpose of education. In my role recently, I often find myself returning to the ideas of psychologist Lev Vygotsky, who wrote about how real growth happens not when we stay entirely within what is comfortable or familiar, but when we are challenged to go beyond it, supported by others as we learn and develop. In short, we grow when we are stretched beyond our comfort zones. And that's what I think of with this class. I recall in-depth conversations with some of you last year as you were struggling to shape your thinking about AI for your junior paper. I recall our activities in clubs wrestling with hard realities. I recall the stunning AP research projects that some of you have developed over the past year on topics that push knowledge at the cutting edge of the field. I recall jaw-dropping performances on our stages that push the limits of what high schools usually produce, none more impressive than Rent this past spring. And I've seen firsthand how our 2 senior delegates to our Board of Education engage in important conversations about everything from educational outcomes to our tax levy. And all of that programmatic success does nothing to speak to the private ways you all have been stretched beyond your comfort. In some form, every single one of you, none more than those who have lost a loved one during your time here, has struggled through personal obstacles over these past 4 years. And often the courage it takes to learn from those personal challenges dwarfs that which is needed in other areas. And in all of these experiences, it is clear that an essential challenge for all of us, whether we seek them out or are unwittingly thrown into them, thrown into moments of dissonance and tension, is to transform them into something meaningful. At its best, that is what public education strives to do, and at your best, that is what you have embodied here at OPRF. So as you step outside the relative safety of our community and strive to make something meaningful, I have 3 final charges for you. Number 1, listen carefully to the ideas that challenge you the most. Number 2, care enough to try deeply to understand them. And 3, have the courage to ask yourself how doing so might change you. I hope your time here has helped you to do that with confidence. And I hope you know how rewarding it has been for all of us, the faculty, the staff, the administrators, the board, to be challenged by you, to work to understand you, and to grow alongside you. Because doing so has changed us too. Members of the Board of Education, as a superintendent of Oak Park and River Forest High School, District 200, I am honored to inform you that each member of this senior class presented today has not only successfully completed all requirements to earn their diploma, but they are well on their way to challenge and be challenged by the world outside of this institution. President Williams Lee, I present to you the 150th graduating class of Oak Park and River Forest High School.
Hi. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I recently read that graduation speeches are best when they are disposable, meaning that they celebrate and reflect on this shared moment of time rather than trying to impart any profound wisdom or knowledge. So with this in mind, my remarks are shaped by my experience as a parent and a school board member as I've watched my son, my nieces, their friends, and other students navigate the past 4 years in a world that has a lot going on. I love quotes, and one that comes to mind on this occasion is from Robert Frost, which states, "The best way out is always through." To me, this is about resiliency and directly facing and working our way through difficult situations. Now, some of the hard situations we might face are of our own making, but there are others over which we have no control. And there have been a number of significant shifts for you over the past few years that were due to circumstances beyond your control, such as COVID, which hit when you were in 6th grade, and among other things, led to a much greater need for mental health and wellness support. The release of ChatGPT, just as you started high school. Oops. Well, so much for that. So ChatGPT, just as you started high school, and the ongoing exponential growth, as well as the permeation of generative AI across everything we do within our lives. And then there's just the increased frequency in environmental and climate-related disasters like wildfires, droughts, and hurricanes that we're seeing. And these shifts can be scary and leave us feeling anxious. But at the same time, they're complex and multifaceted, and there is good that can come from them. For example, a lot of good has come from the increased focus on mental health and well-being in terms of awareness, resources, and a reduction in stigma. When we look at what's been happening from a technological and environmental standpoint, across the globe, there's been a big increase in student activism, and we've seen this also at OPRF. Over the past 4 UN climate change conferences, we've had students attend COP. I also know that many of you are involved in your clubs and activities that serve our communities and make a difference in so many ways. But more importantly, you are here today and you're about to graduate from high school. And I hope you take time to celebrate, reflect on, and be proud of this milestone accomplishment. It really does reflect your ability to adapt and shift in a world around you that is constantly changing. A quote attributed to Mark Twain says that the 2 most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And as you continue to discover your why on this new journey you're about to take, celebrate the wins, give yourself grace when you make mistakes or things don't go as planned, lean into your resiliency, ask for help when you need it, and learn from both your successes and your failures, and always keep moving forward. On behalf of the D200 Board of Education, I am pleased to affirm that each member of the Oak Park and River Forest High School class of 2026 has fulfilled the graduation requirements of the district and the state of Illinois. We proudly accept this class and confer upon you all the rights and responsibilities that go along with being a graduate of OPRF. That includes the right to claim this diploma and the education it represents, as well as the responsibility to use that education to provide service to your communities, to your families, and to the greater good. Congratulations, class of 2026, and welcome to the OPRF alumni community. Thank you.
At Oak Park and River Forest High School, we present the unique award of the Scholarship Cup. The prestigious honor was first awarded in 1915 in lieu of a valedictorian, and it is given to the top scholars of each graduating class based on grade point average at the end of the 7th semester. Students must also have been an Oak Park and River Forest High School student for a minimum of 5 of those 7 semesters to be eligible for the award. This year, 28 students from the class of 2026 have earned a scholarship cup. At this time, please join me in welcoming Scholarship Cup recipient George Barkigia to the stage to deliver the response on behalf of the class of 2026.
Good afternoon, members of the faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, fellow members of the class of 2026. Thank you to Principal Parker, the administration, the coaches, and all of the teachers who have shaped our experiences these past 4 years. I also want to thank my family for their unwavering support throughout my high school journey. Now, let me start by asking you all a question. Do you remember the first person you met here on your first day? I don't mean your best friend now or the people you eat lunch with. Maybe you met them in the hallway, or they were a new face in advisory. Or maybe there was someone you bumped into before you even knew not to take the main staircase. Shout out Sandra Edelstein. Alongside that, do you remember what hopes you had when you walked in here? I do, but then again, I remember how uncertain all of it felt. Leaving this place, we are entering a world becoming increasingly consumed by AI, homogeny, and hacky sack. It's scary to think that the futures we imagined for ourselves might now not be possible. But when I look out at you, I don't sense anxiety. I see 863 individuals, each capable of persevering, each proven to persist in the face of uncertainty. One of the many things that I've learned during these years at OPRF is that uncertainty is not an enemy. In fact, certainty often comes at the expense of discovery. It's absent of surprise, wonder, and imagination. None of us were handed a guaranteed place here. We each walked in uncertain, with hopes and dreams, and then created something of ourselves and of this place. Every shout out I could give right now. Every club built, every tradition carried forward, every stage filled with music is proof of that. We made it ours. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to be part of a very special project. Hannah Jones and I, along with some other AP African American Studies students, spent months developing what became a 3-day program around Cornelius Eady's play, Brutal Imagination. Based on the Susan Smith case, it is a story about racial imagination and the narratives we tell ourselves and each other. After a live performance of the play in the Little Theater featuring Joe Morton, we invited 2 members of the Marquette Four, teenagers who were wrongfully convicted of a double murder and exonerated only 20 years later, and they answered some of our questions. Mr. Sparks, one of the exonerated, looked up at us from that stage and said something that I keep coming back to, that we, the people here today, young people, have the power to reimagine the narratives that make our society and sustain our democracy. We hold the hope for the future in you, Mr. Sparks told us. And I trust this future because I've witnessed us creating it, making our place amidst uncertain times. OPRF has never sheltered us from the world's harder truths, and I mean that as a compliment. The adults here have assured us daily that we can handle reality, that we can create alternate futures for ourselves. A few nights ago, my dad and I were having dinner, and he asked, "If you went back to freshman year again, what would you change?" I sat there for a long time, or at least longer than I expected to, and said, I'd probably start college applications sophomore year. But honestly, I failed to come up with a real answer. And not because high school was easy. Just 3 months ago, I was crying in the middle of the hall on the phone to my mom after bombing a calc test. And not because I did everything right, trust me, I didn't, but because every hard thing or wrong decision became proof. Every choice I made, every class I took, each friendship I formed or lost, every challenge I overcame or failed, all of them are the reason I'm standing here today, believing that I can figure things out when it gets hard. But here's the thing. My dad's question doesn't only belong to me. So I'm going to ask you, what would you change about the last 4 years? Maybe it's something serious, a bad decision you will never make again. Maybe there's something small you've let go of, like that essential study from sophomore year. Well, at least most of us have. Surely, there's something we would all like to change about the world we are walking into. Although today, maybe it's not so much about what we would change, but how the choices we made have changed us. Back to Brutal Imagination. In one of our talkbacks,
Mr. Eady quoted James Baldwin, who said, "The place in which I'll fit will not exist until I make it." Freshman year, we all walked in here looking for where we fit. We joined the clubs that felt familiar. We found people we recognized from middle school. We started mapping ourselves onto a place that didn't quite know us yet. And slowly, over time, and with our choices, something curious happened. Some of the things we thought we were didn't fit anymore. Some of the things we never expected to love became the things we loved the most. 4 years have passed, and if you're sitting here today, I'd argue you're a larger version of the person who walked through those doors as a freshman. We have grown into ourselves. We have found or created the places in which we and others will fit. One of the highlights of our school year traditions happens near the end of March when we all pack into the field house for the Best Buddies Special Olympics basketball game. This year, it was a particular honor to see two of my classmates, Haley Boland and Rose Draub, leading the celebration, making sure that this is a place where we all feel like we fit. Some of us are heading to college, some of us are going to work, and some of us are taking a gap year. Regardless, we are all stepping into a new, uncertain, unknown. But don't worry, we can find comfort in this place. We've been here before. Not here specifically, but here, at the edge of something not yet started, with no directions and just the vague feeling of needing to somehow emerge out of the other side a better person. Remember, the place in which we fit will not exist until we make it. Go make your places, Huskies. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck, class of 2026.
Members of the class of 2026 will now be presented with their diplomas from their counselor and board members. Our readers today are History Division Head Amy Hill and Director of Employee Relations and Recruitment Janelle Bishop. Students will be called up with their counselor group. Please listen for your student's counselor name and then follow along in the program as the names are read. We ask that you reserve your applause and recognition until all diplomas have been presented so that all graduates and their families may hear their names as it's called. Thank you.
We will begin with Miss Ojikutu students. Kareem Eniola Abayon. Mr. Sponsored students, Sam Batra. Arwa Abukutu. Simon Stucky Beck. Talia Adams. Michael Joseph Bevan. Alex
Eli Adamski. Alan Lily Banuan Biag.
Drew Adamski.
Jasmine Bizzle.
Sander Edelstein.
Anaya Kamari Blackwell.
Shay Edelstein.
Jemiah Blakely.
Abigaila Ago.
Flynn Johannes Block.
Natalia Lucia Aguilar Ripley.
Narissa Diane Blue.
Benjamin John Ehring.
Haley Whitney Boland.
Madeline Ainsworth.
Adrian Bundartsov.
Abdurrahman Al-Zahabi.
Peter Bundartsov.
Eugene Allen.
Ari Xavier Bonney.
Samantha Wynne Allen.
William Joseph Bonomo.
Seamus Martin Allen.
Colin Eleftherios Bornhorst.
Remus Bachner.
Maxwell James Brackett.
B. Dahl Allison.
Kiera Branken.
Nadia Anderson.
Grace Cahill Brennan.
Oli Anderson.
Janine Elizabeth Brennan.
Carolina Pilar Anelo Lopez.
Ruin Francis Brewer Davis.
Benjamin Angaroni.
Joshua Bricio.
Lariah Krishan Apollo.
Amante Brenner.
Eliel Alex Argudo Tenorio.
Jason Bronson.
Griffin Johannes Arnold.
Autumn Peyton Brown.
Gabrielle Bafua Asibe.
Bella Brown.
Naima Soleil Axelrod.
Cora Janae Brown.
Owen James Baffa.
Jada Marie Brown.
Catherine Cecilia Baylitz.
Eliana Joy Brucato.
Jackson William Baker.
Alessandra Carlina Brian Johnson.
Nicholas Michael Ballesteri.
Audrey Violet Burns.
Jack Baltazar.
Ryan Joel Burns.
Caden Alexander Banks.
Eleanor Elizabeth Buss.
Niall Michael Banks.
Famke Bari Bussier.
Jordan Barham.
Isabella Bustamante.
George Barkigia.
Tyson Demetrius Bird.
Anna Catherine Barnes.
Francesca Kahina.
Cameron Dana Barnes.
Liam McKenzie Calvert.
London Barnes.
Kalia Campbell.
Lainey Shea Barnett.
Shahida Campbell.
Connor McMahon Barr.
Jonathan Robert Campbell.
Gabriela Lucio Barriuso.
Kendall Raina Campbell.
Harper Viola Zavislak Berry.
Francesco Miles Canzona.
Jaden Lavelle Bassett.
Elijah Cassell.
Luke David Batolia.
Benjamin Maxwell Cazot.
Lily Belmar.
Maisie Blue Champaneri.
Zoe Benbrook.
Rohan Anil Champaneri.
Claire Elise Bennett.
Nicholas Austin Colligan.
Elsa Jane Berg.
Lanil Durante Conley.
Linnea Victoria Berg.
Devin Marcellus Rennell Davis.
Charlie Vincent Byer.
Dominic William Kramer.
Ella Marie Biag.
Daniel Taylor.
Lee Sean Harper.
Ms. O'Keefe's students. Mia Victoria Chin.
Ari Ashanti Tate.
Mackenzie Grace Cohen.
Mr. Herbst students. Grayson Brigham,
Brendan Collins,
Lucy Ann Brooker,
Joseph Paul Colucci,
Jonathan Michael Bullins,
Amelia Ann Komoda,
Aiden Riley Birch,
Ronald Khalil Connor,
Francesco Pietro Bowie,
David Conroy,
William Hunter Campbell,
Ethan Cooper,
Keegan Patrick Bonstell Carey,
Charles Andrew Koppelman,
Meredith Ann Carmichael,
Andrew Doyle Costello,
Kiana Lawan Carney,
Peyton Arthur Coulter,
Jamal Daniel Carson,
Tyler Michael Crabb,
Owen Charles Karstens,
Christian J. Crape,
Finley Harlan Kovar Cascarino,
Brady Creel,
Audrey Cecilia Cass,
Carlos Jose Crespo,
Ana Sofia Castillo,
Teresa Callahan Cronin,
Samuel Castro,
Bridget Beatrice Cullerton,
Kevin Catchings Jr.,
Evelyn Jane Cultra,
Daniel Jonathan Cespedes,
Noah David D'Agostino,
Cayetan Chapinski,
Ryan Jabril Dabney Jr.,
Jake Robert Chaplow,
Gwyneth Lillian Dannenberg,
Sophia Isabella Chavez,
Abigail Darden,
Delaney Olivia Sharikis,
Megan Nicole Dauphiné,
Gabriella Chesney,
Rena Shea Davis,
Ivy Childress,
Isley Sharon Nikita Day,
Sean Ching,
Alma De La Rosa,
Jamie Elizabeth Chrisman,
Jerome Delaney,
Owen Thomas Chung,
Mariano Delgado,
Dylan Bridge Clark,
Teresa Sofia Delgado,
Jonelle Kimberly Clark,
David Isaiah DeKite,
Isabella Clayton,
Mark Carl Dickel,
Caitlin Bellagio Coates,
Adam Matthew Dominowski,
Larry DeMarco Coburn,
Naima Love Dorsey,
Saniel Cole,
Jaden Matthew Dowkey,
Caleb Collins,
Remke Johannes Dauma Whalen,
Malcolm Stefan Conyers,
Rose Catherine Drob,
Maxwell Edison Cook,
Micaiah Brielle Tiana Duke,
Jude Charles Costello Woolwich,
Zanaya Dunlap,
Miss Ambrose students, Sam Susan Delaney,
Adeline Alice Dunphy,
Simon Stanley Delgado,
Jada Angela Marie Dunson,
Caleb Jovan Dillard,
Erin Elizabeth Dwyer,
Consuelo Randall Emano Garcia,
Hugh Bergen Dwyer,
Will Inlow,
Luke William Dwyer,
Eric Faraj Erickson,
Molly Bridget Condon Easton,
Devin Estrada,
Tyler Edmondson,
Sanaya Evans,
Griffin Thomas Edwards,
Eduardo Nathan Farrera,
Owen Edwards,
William Lyman Faust,
Kalia Sanai Igwekwe Gibbons,
Harrison Fegis,
Adam El-Metanani,
Sophia Lynn Fickenshire,
Dylan McLean Edgerton Elder,
Alden Whistler Field,
Eva Irene Sasha Elder,
Benjamin Noel Fields,
Layla Pylan Ellis,
Gabriella Marie Feaster,
Naveen El Sharif,
Malaya Jane Finn.
Grace Ann Pfizer.
Sophia Carol Fitzgerald.
James Michael Kelly.
Jacinda Barbara Elaine Fitzpatrick.
Joffrey Orlando Mendoza Macias.
Samuel Foltz.
Omar Shahada.
Jonas Alexander Forsell.
Kaylee Ariel Epps.
Thomas Andrew France.
Lila Jane Fielding.
Taylor Francis.
John Kingston Flynn.
Ambrose Franklin.
Mr. Medina's students. Benjamin Pippin George.
Miles H. Franklin.
Noah Spencer George.
Max John Franson.
Benjamin Scott Gerbosi.
Harrison Randall Frederick.
Nathan Paul Giroux.
Miles Han Gabbett.
Ethan Michael Gettinger.
John Declan Gallagher.
Kai Lars Ghosh Johnson.
Liam Connor Glogly.
Sasha Raquel Giannotti Goralnik.
Aya Melissa Gamal.
Isaiah Gibson.
Saurabh Raj Gandhi.
Anthony Charles Giorango.
Julian Ricardo Garcia Barriel.
Sophia Colette Godwin.
Hattie Garcia.
Sophia Milena Gonzalez.
Matthew William Garner.
Grayson Locke Gordon.
Claire Emily Garnett.
Natalie Pauline Green.
John William Garnett.
Sunny Kathleen Greenberg.
Janila Sky Garrett.
Grant Robert Greendike.
Andrew Garza.
Rory Green.
Sadia Najee Josephine Gaitan.
Javier Alejandro Grillo Puentes.
Clay Scott Gearhart.
Harrison Wesley Grove.
Kian Henry Garavi.
Lorenzo Guevara.
Joshua J. Glenn.
Lucille Haas.
Francis Robert Glenke.
Matthew Casimir Hajduk.
Georgia Isabella Godellis.
Cornelia Halicki.
Zachary Owen Goldberg.
Anaya Shael Hall.
Naomi Maria Gutierrez.
Matthew Fitzgerald Halper.
Leah Hammerschmidt.
Isabel Maria Hannaberg Ruiz.
Miss Campbell's students. Malik Terrell Griffey.
Sarah Maria Hannaberg Ruiz.
Iris Emmanuel Henry.
Ryan James Hansen Taruk.
Jeremiah Hernandez.
Izzy Maria Elizabeth Hansen.
Sophia Hernandez.
Noah Joseph Hardy.
L.J. Hickman.
Sean Patrick Hargrove.
Miles Antonio Hill.
Arik McKay Harmston.
Chad Jaden Hillard.
Adrian Alejandro Aro Mantilla.
Sebastian James Hilton.
Mateo Leon Haro.
Jade Kensington Hobby.
Catherine Marie Harris.
Maisie Jane Herster.
Roy Harris.
Jack Holland.
Ree Aphrodite Harthorn.
Reed Thomas Hope.
Adela Marie Harvath.
Julian Andre House.
Matthew Brennan Harvath.
Jackson Daniel Howe.
Aiden Michael Harvey.
Thomas Jacob Howe.
Cohen Teo Harvey.
Ben Hoyt.
Evelyn Ann Hassenbalg.
Otto Charles Huber.
Chelsea Hawkins.
Cashel Mary Hughes.
Alouette Hayes.
Francesca Hunter.
Brady Michael Hedges.
Aiden Hurley.
Alexis Henderson.
Kahinde Iribogbe.
Julia Henderson.
Gabriel Richard Ishimori.
Luke Fair Hankus.
Ayana Eisen.
John Tucker Henry.
Sarah Heather Issel.
Margaret Grace Herman.
Adam James Iwanski.
Aaron Herman.
Chloe Lolita Jabletska.
Faye Ann Homrock.
Braylon Keith Jackson.
Alexander Howard.
Brian Carter Jackson.
Henry Hollinger.
Riley Lewis Jackson.
Garrett Thomas Hunkley.
Andrew Robert Jansen.
Grace Ann Iverson.
Matthew Jenkins.
Kevin Eduardo Lizarazo.
Jose Angel Jimenez.
Kazuma Suzuki.
Z. Lee Johnson Shackleford.
Ms. Hanson's students. Christian Jones.
Amina Johnson.
Raina Carney.
Kayla Johnson.
Alina Ryan Cal.
Leah Rose Johnson.
Andy Keller.
Logan Douglas Johnson.
Christian Charles Kellogg.
Sheila Nicole Johnson.
Wandre Kendall.
Hannah Hope Jones.
Nora Carol Kent.
Rebecca Joy Jones.
Amelia Samantha Kessel.
Ava Narcissus Jordan.
Isabella Annetta Kessel.
Owen Josephchik.
Finn McCoy Kiefer.
Jamie Kagi.
Saffron Lena Kim.
Eva Sadie Kantz.
Yowan Kim.
Nora Kazak.
Akoya Israel King.
Maggie Eleanor Kitley.
Bennett Ethan King.
Roy James Kerner.
Mia Renee King.
Zev Karansky.
Mia Meta Kircher.
Christopher Corison.
Kate Juliet Kersgaard.
Maxine Kreider.
Liliana Genevieve Kaminick.
Avery May Lane.
Keegan Knight.
Jacob Lapat.
Wesley Paul Kokendorfer.
Madeline Grace McCreary.
Kyra Kirchie.
Javante Marcel Pittman.
Max Ross Koshman.
Keldon Charles Weaver.
Chloe Kozicki.
Miss Lynch's students. Iman Terrell Johnson.
Michelle Afi Akuele Pepe.
Leodin Renate Maureen Curley.
Evan Michael Kreidler.
Emmett Pierce Lazarski.
Sanvi Kumar.
Alexander Lee.
Tyler Lacey.
Alex Lesney.
Caitlin Jane Ladisich.
Adrian Levy.
Matthew Bradford Ladisich.
Tanila Mary Levy.
James David Lalos Harrell.
Soraya Elise Lewis Arellano.
Griffin Lane.
Kelson Mackay Lewis.
Jeremy Lane.
Zeke Lind Limberg.
Michaela Kimberly Lane.
Brooke Sarah Lingenfelter.
Trevor Lane.
Leo Lisnick.
What is your last name? You're not yet. Okay. I've got several people before you. Clara Lau.
Samuel Yanis.
Donovan Evergreen Laughlin.
Iris Adeline Lloyd.
Madison Laverde.
Justin Lloyd.
Darren Jaden Law.
Nathaniel Joaquin Lopez.
Ben Owen Lazara.
Jillian Louie.
Armando Leal.
April Love.
Donovan Xavier Lee.
April Love.
Matthew Christian Lee.
Zion Dante Lucas.
Ava Rose Lega.
Stella Ludwig.
Alexander Lemma.
Jack B. Luke.
August David Lehman.
Sophia Lunardini.
Olivia Liebel.
Lincoln Lundak.
Lucy May Liskowitz.
Finnegan Bruce Lutz.
Jacob Elijah Lubelchek.
Catherine Moira McCarthy.
Tegan Elizabeth Lucas.
Fiona Nicole McMillan.
Finnegan John Marin.
Nolan Maddox.
Morgan Thalick.
Madeline Tate Magnuson.
Mr. Radishevsky's students. Morgan Sinise Darlene Mack.
Aoife Katie Mahich.
Isabella Martinez.
Max Robert Malcolm.
Evan Yonsu Max.
Liam Edward Maldonado Cruz.
Julia Iona Max.
Hannah Maureen Mangan.
Kenneth McCaffrey.
Jacob Dylan Manning.
Gray Luna McCarthy.
Jacob Marks.
Issa Simone McClendon.
Michaela Eve Marks.
Owen Andrew McFadden.
Kevin Markina.
Colby Chase McGee.
Audrey Elizabeth Martin.
Ian McKinney.
Jalen Amir Martin.
Alexander McNeely.
Maria Jose Martinez Manon.
Holland Gwendolyn Meadows.
Ana Paula Martinez Sanchez.
Vladimir Andres Medrano.
Nicolas Martinez Cordova.
Joni Melman.
Daniel Martinez.
Van Carter Melodia.
Nitai Sebastian Meta Mazer.
Micah Charles Merrill.
Christopher Mason Martinez.
Santino Messineo.
Adrian Mason.
Lucy Simone Mikos.
Taylor Matthias Edwards.
Thomas Masu Saul Milinovich.
Catherine Roma Mattis.
Boris Avery Miller.
John David Matz.
Isabella Anna Marie Miller.
Vivian Marie May.
Jada Simone Miller.
Angelina McCracken.
Jude Scott Klein Miller.
Ella Rebecca Melman.
Bailey Simone Minish Murray.
Ravi Cole Mitchell Chablani.
Preeti Annika Mirmira.
Fiona Maeve Mitchell.
Raj Sulin Mitra.
Delilah Therese Maloney.
Deasia Gabrielle Modicure.
Matthew Maximus Mondragon.
Parker Grant Moen.
Nicholas Pardo Fleming.
Trevor Grant Moen.
Nayeli Grace Reese Rashbrook.
Tariq Khaled Khalidi Mohammed.
Mr. Sherman's students. Taylor Nevea Jones.
Ariel Simone Molden.
Tavia Allen.
Madeline Rain Molise.
Madden Augustus Parks.
Franco Charles Montero.
Jacqueline Pearl Passarello.
Ruth Olivia Moore.
Niani Molly Patton.
Jocelyn Giselle Moran.
Lakshmi Patwari.
Louis Morelli.
Martina Pahar.
Jonathan Joseph Morozinski.
Shifra Marie Pelletieri,
Anna Sophia Mrazek,
Star Lachey Perry,
Shalimar Akira Muhammad,
Kingston Isaiah Peterson,
Ishika Mundra,
Lang Baker Peterson,
Benjamin Munoz,
Samuel James Phelan,
Ella Shania Murray,
Philippe Ronald Pierre,
Madeline Murray,
Alessandra Guadalupe Pina,
Luna Nagaraj,
Mia Yamamoto Pence,
Paloma Lucia Nahara,
Reyes Daniel Pineda Rothstein,
Alex Miguel Naranjo,
Cecilia Nancy Piper,
Leela Rose Valentine Encho Alapo,
Joshua Delos Pomerank,
Eliza Quinn Newoner,
Nick Posey IV,
James Zucker Nolan,
Sabrina Elise Povolitis,
Fabrizio Olivo,
Matthew Thomas Prosky,
Alexander James Wisdom Olson,
Kento Marcus Pishibish,
Aiden Reese Owens,
Oliver Downey Puntillo,
Olivia Laura Slezak,
Elise Violet Rock,
Kennedy Williams,
Madeline Louise Rabichow,
Ms. Fuentes' students, Logan LaShawn Gaffman,
Yanni Leah Rafter,
David Ikamika,
Sabrina Rahman,
Jaden Taryn Matthews,
Caitlin Audrey Rayleigh,
Ayelet Rose Mayer,
Carolyn Toshiko Rainey,
Courtney Lynn Moore,
Susanna Racebeck,
Claire Sheehan Maroney,
Antonio Gabriel Harlan Ramirez,
Grace Kathleen Maroney,
Luciana Lourdes Johnson Ramirez,
Liam Sheehan Maroney,
Lila Ramos,
Amr Ahmed Abdelmonem Nassar,
El Ray,
Sophia Bella Natali,
Lauren Olivia Recamp,
John Wayne Nelson,
Callie Parker Regan,
Pierre Terrell Nelson,
William Aaron Reinhold,
Emilio Julian Neary,
Gianna Cecilia Reyes,
Quentin Nettles,
Ishita Corinne Ritchie,
Theodore Paul Nooner,
Luke Corin Robertson,
Guinevere Grace Neville,
Sebastian Robinson,
Rowan Catherine Neville,
Sydney Robinson,
Sophia Crawford Nicolosi,
Liam Daniel Lambshead Roche,
Oliver Richard Nielsen,
Daniel Adolfo Rodriguez Bovio,
Henry Thomas Nix,
Akira Ann Julia Rodriguez,
Evelyn Margaret Nohalty,
Tess McNay Rodriguez,
Terrell Ontario Noriega,
Yuri Andreevich Rogachev,
Max King Norling Christensen,
Vanna Victoria Ross,
Siobhan Norsworthy,
Adrian Ruth Ruley May,
Eliana Grace Nowinski,
Isaiah Henry Ruley May,
Aiden John Noyes,
Ava Sinai Ruffer,
Juliana Nungare,
Sydney Rutkowski,
Catherine Abba Grace Obed,
Penelope Jane Sanchez,
Ayana O'Connor,
Maria Alexandra Saravia,
Layla O'Connor,
Maura Rose Sugarlone,
Joshua Offloy,
Eleanor Marguerite Schultz,
David Josiah Ogunsanya.
Quincy Truman Schultz.
Henry J. Olhoff.
Rowan Michael Steinman.
Malik Ojukutu.
Mr. Nixon's students. Jewis Sowe.
Isai Oliveris Gray.
Liam Henry Sorensen Martin.
Victor Antonio Oliveris.
Paris Lanaya Priya Spencer Winbush.
Mina Marie Allens.
Julian Everett St. Pierre.
Alexandra Spillane Ormond.
Jalen Christopher Stanley.
Justin Ormsby.
Sebastian Jordan Stanton.
Amalia Aneda Ortuno.
Ella Steffen.
Xavier Osler Still.
Seth Steiner.
Marco Padro.
Evan Nathaniel Sturk.
Sal Pekulski.
Owen William Stevens.
Andrew Gerald Palmer.
Cole Stewart.
Dino Pantazopoulos.
Alex Stampor Mendoza.
Zoe Marie Panton.
Ali Sugita.
Ailey Quinn Patel.
Georgia Noren Sullivan.
Heidi Lucia Perez.
Julia Marie Sylvester.
Charles James Peterson.
Wilson Thomas Tanner.
George Peter Ping.
Jack Michael Tansey.
Lucia Quinlan Pohl.
Isaiah Taylor.
Nicholas Oliver Silvera Powell.
Caden Miles Taylor.
Sarah Ann Prestis.
Marco Angel Taylor.
Rosalina Marie Ramirez.
Ainsley Cecilia Teague.
Sophia Angeli Ramos.
Olive Beulah Tepfer.
Robert Daniel Reed.
Jane Kunji Toretta.
Ms. Cahill's students. Luke Roberts.
Yvette Angela Thrasher.
Skylar Reese.
Bailey Tiffin.
Sabina Ruff.
Amari Tillis.
Jalen Runnels.
Jonah Cataldo Tassi.
Luca Martin John Rupp.
Serena Jolie Torres.
Keenan Atef Saeed.
Victoria Tosin.
Haley Salas.
Naya Amani Town.
Benjamin Salazar.
Devin Townsend.
Audrey Sandal.
Ruby Jean Shrimper.
Malia Imani Santiago.
Arlo Adams Truitt Schreiber.
Dominic Giovanni Santos.
Sienna Tulian.
Elizabeth Osei Sarpe.
Demaya Turner.
Nana Akuba Sarpe.
Kingston Isaiah Turner.
Isabella Saylor.
Samuel Tushman.
David Alexander Schiff.
Mackenzie Tutt.
Natalie Grace Schiff.
Cordy Ukmata.
Violet Claire Schnitzlein.
Jacob Tyler Ungurianu.
Jackson Bill Kim Schott.
Baron A. Vanderput.
Leilani Elizabeth Seals.
Tate Van Dynen.
Mia Leigh Sagawa.
Nawasiri Max Venopas.
Vaughn Salvador Sekulich.
Tanzania Vons.
Michael William Lee Saratella.
Ian Samuel Vasquez.
Walter Jerome Shannon.
Henry Ulysses Mitchell Vijuk.
Elliot Lillian Shaulis.
Ileana Arcelia Villagomez.
Sanaa Elise Shaw.
Naya Sophia Von Fisher.
Eleanor Marie Shea.
Sanaya Sine Voss.
Graham Henry Shea.
Lucinda Wageman.
Samantha Elizabeth Shelton.
Astrid Shoblum Wallix.
Lucy Diana Shepard.
Gwyneth G. Waters.
Annika Haley Sherman.
Miss White's students: Charlotte Crosby,
Charlie Schindeldecker.
William Matlock,
Jonathan Sibley Diggs.
Isaac Nathaniel Rumpala,
Omari Isaiah Simmons.
Zoe Swanson,
Zeta Simons.
Sabrina Tristano,
Rhiannon Marie Singer.
Kaylani Harmony Vasquez,
Aaliyah Margarita Ciordia.
Maya Leilani Wade Wilson,
Ruby Irene Slocum.
Kale Wallachy,
Crystalline Smith Sudduth.
Alyssa Grace Walker,
Brooklyn Nicole Smith.
Sophia Irma Wallen,
Channing Jewel Smith.
Madeline Sophia Walski,
Isaiah Smith.
Alice Wong,
Stella Miriam Smith.
Emma Marie Ward,
Emily Ann Smith.
Amaya Marie Warner,
Margaret Rose Smith.
Janaya Taylor Watson,
Rylan Sobel.
Caroline Therese Webb,
Henry Asher Spell.
Catherine Weber,
Genevieve Grace Stevens.
Max Webster,
Van Stramatis.
Ryan Paulo Wells,
Colin Thompson.
Brady Wernett, Ivan Birch Visconti West, Corina White, Zaria Janae White, Brianna Nala Williams, Callie Rose Williams, Soren Jimmy Williams, Jude Patrick Willoughby, Arabella Winsett, Noel Renee Woolert, Gerald Jeffrey Walthusen, Cameron Preston Woods, Samara Sunshine Woodyard, Lillian Rebecca Wright, Murphy Charles Wright, Owen Matthew Yang, Micah Kaplan Yarbrough, Quinn Sederos Yates, Richard Allen Yip, Ada Quinn Young, Matthew Jeffrey Young, James Arnold Yunt, Laura Yutzi, Lola Marie Hall Zarati, Aurelius Zawadowski, Margaret Caroline Ziegler, Grace Emily Zalotto, Jacob Lloyd Zort,
Thank you. As is academic tradition, a student who has not yet earned a diploma wears the tassel of their mortarboard on the right side. However, once the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left side to signify their accomplishments. In recognition of your new status, I invite all graduates to move your tassels to the left as we applaud your outstanding efforts. Would the wonderful class of 2026 please stand? Families and guests, I present to you the graduates of Oak Park and River Forest High School class of 2026. Families and guests, please stay seated while the graduates are recessed from the stadium. You will be able to meet your graduate outside of the stadium in the mall area. Adults, I need you in the center to help get the students recessed out. Students, don't forget we're going out the visitor side on my right. And on this side. Blue line, you're headed towards the visitor side. Orange line, you're headed towards the home side.